Hi all, this is Simona Rich. I have quite a few things to discuss with you in this personal update, so I made some notes so that I don't forget anything. Firstly, about the finishing of recording the last video in the series to take you deep into meditation. I think that Nisargadatta Maharaj is one of the last enlightened persons that we had so far, including also Ramana Maharishi, and I love reading him because I think that he talks exactly about the same thing like Buddha talked about, or even maybe Jesus, but because those texts were written such a long time ago, they were distorted by priests and people in power. So reading his texts makes it so clear what to do to get liberated. And one of my viewers said that I don't like Buddhist text because it's about annihilation, self-annihilation, and he said that it's the same with Maharaj, but actually what Maharaj teaches is not self-annihilation. He leaves self to do what it pleases. It's not even about self-improvement. He just detaches from it, because indeed we are not the bodies, because if we sleep we can be in other bodies, we can have totally different experiences and be different beings, yet this beingness still remains. So this is our true nature, whilst this earthly experience is totally illusory. So what Maharaj tells is not to annihilate yourself, just leave yourself, this self of the world, alone, and understand that what you're experiencing cannot be true because it ends, and what is true never ends. So that's why I highly encourage people to study the texts of Nisargadatta Maharaj. And as I said, I made 14 series videos, 14 part series videos and articles to also in my own words explain what he means, in case someone doesn't understand and it's easier for them to understand me. So I highly encourage people to study the texts, because it really makes you a much more you feel so much at peace, and you understand also that you can take spiritual improvement at your own pace. You actually don't even need to do any kind of meditative practice if you don't want to, because he says, Nisargadatta Maharaj says that everything comes at the right time. So if you're not ready, you shouldn't force yourself to meditate, yet when time comes you will naturally start meditating. Like when I started this journey, and I started meditation from, I guess, around 16 years, and I just naturally enthusiastically meditated every day for a few hours a day, and I loved it. And then there came a stage that after the Kundalini awakening, that I didn't want anything to do with spirituality, and that was the time of healing because it was so shocking what I experienced. And now it feels like meditation always happens because I try to be detached. So that's again spiritual practice. So that's what he explains that eventually you can meditate every day, but it kind of becomes every day becomes like meditation to you when you really understand that you are not this body, you're not the world, so you're kind of detached already, and just stay in that, and then eventually you achieve liberation. Now another unrelated topic. So in personal updates I do just try to discuss everything that's happening in my life, so it could be unrelated. So in this it's so interesting. Every time I have a birthday, I change in some way. So now I just recently had my birthday, and in this time it was so interesting. I turned more towards exploring digital currencies, and actually invested in cryptocurrency for the first time, so I'm studying a lot about it, and it's so interesting. I got before a dream about HSBC Bank in New York, and I went to that area in my dream. Probably it doesn't exist, but it was New York and HSBC Bank, and yeah, I was in that area, so that was interesting. And I dreamt about that bank when there was something in the news that I watched, not the mainstream news, about banking system becoming very unstable and it could crash at any time. So I dreamt about HSBC. And after that, actually, I transferred my funds away from the bank to other places because I just felt not certain about whether my funds are safe there. And then recently I got another dream about it, that the same bank burning after Trump's message. I don't remember what he said in the dream, and then I saw that the bank was burning, and I actually wrote about that as a personal update in social networks. So that kind of confirmed that I don't think it's safe to keep money in the bank, and I don't know about whether it's HSBC that is not safe or other banks also, but in general, because of the situations that we experience now, in general, I think paper money, just our currency is not safe anymore. It's not backed on anything. It's just that. So this encouraged me, and it was so natural to start researching cryptocurrencies, and I invested in them, but very little so far, because to invest in these this new, how to say, new industry, I don't know if it should be called industry, it's actually so risky because it's totally new, and the and it very fluctuates. So if you don't research the currencies you want to invest in, cryptocurrencies, you can actually lose a lot. But there are some safe investments that people consider safe, although nothing is safe in this world. But the safest cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, and there are others like Ether, Bitcash, Litecoin. So I'm researching these, and I will invest long term in some of the currencies, and I'm even thinking of trying trading, because I find it very, very interesting, but I will only do it after a lot of study, because it's just so risky, and millions of people want to make money this way, and it's a good way to increase money in these times. And I think it's a very good skill to learn in these uncertain times, because I think that the digital industry is to stay. But yes, it takes a lot of study, but because I like these challenging, to master challenging subjects, like astrology is very challenging, it's very complicated, and that's why I love studying it, and I got good at it, you can see from testimonials. So that's the reason I chose this industry to study, and it's totally new for me because I never invested. I don't know anything about exchanges, how markets work, but I think it's important, because then you also understand so much more about how finances work, how money circulates, how just in general the financial system works. And it's I think it's good for life to know about these matters. So I will continue studying. I read so much already about it, but if you don't know the strategies, if you don't have strategies, it's the same as gambling, and then you lose money. But there are also strategies that you can use and stick to, which can over time make money. So I find this as a very good investment opportunity, something that can protect your money, but you really need to stay up to date with what's happening in the crypto world, to be safe. But it's like everywhere. Even if you keep your money in the bank, it's going to depreciate in value, and so even if you keep money in your bank there, even if you are paid very little interest, actually over time the currency will depreciate, and you will be able to buy much less than at the time when you put your money in your bank. So I find cryptocurrency to be the currency that can grow your income passively much more than other things in this world at the moment. Um, and I also like cryptocurrency because it's decentralized and it's independent of banks and governments, although of course like the US government will try to control it because it just wants to take as much money from people as possible, and it doesn't feel secure if it doesn't control something. So it's getting into the, trying to regulate these trades. But in general, this cryptocurrency is independent from governments, from banks, and it's totally how to say, it's much more transparent because all the transactions can be seen by the public. And I don't know exactly how that works, but the public can access each transaction. It's not hidden like in banks. Like banks and governments can easily hide what they are doing, their transactions. But in cryptocurrency, that's when you're trading with cryptocurrency, that's not possible. So I find this an investment that actually, if you invest in that, you're supporting something that people themselves do rather than in investing in governments and banks, because they are independent of that, and they were created actually to reduce the control of governments, to reduce the control of banks. So I really see this currency as hopefully a way that people will start how to say, the currency that will be adopted more and more in the coming age. And astrology itself shows that new age is coming, and it's Aquarian age. And what does it mean? Well, some people who are into new age teachings, the astrologers that are into new age teachings, they think that this is going to be the new age of spiritual age where everything is good. But actually, when you look at Aquarius sign, it's also about the future, things that are very modern, and indeed cryptocurrency suits that description. So it could be like a digital age, not like spiritual age. So we should look at different aspects of Aquarius to see what it actually could mean. So it could mean that the world is moving away from industrial age into digital age. It's so interesting to see that in astrology, that the major planets are moving to Aquarius, into Aquarius. So definitely the world will change. That's guaranteed. If you study astrology, it shows the trends, but then it speaks in symbols, so you never know exactly what to expect. That's why it was hard to predict coronavirus. It was very easy to see business change, but not about coronavirus. Well, probably because it's pandemic anyway. So astrology reveals that we are moving to the new age. But what will that be? That's a guess. And people who are biased towards one thing will say that's going to be the age about that. And, so, but there are different aspects of Aquarius. So it could be that the world will become much more impersonal, because Aquarius is an impersonal sign. But it's also about crowds, about friends, but the relationships are not personal. So maybe that could be, for example, connections online, being connected with many people, but not in a personal way. So it could mean so many things, but for sure we are moving into new age, and I hope it's going to be for the benefit of the people and not the governments. Hopefully governments as we know it will get destroyed, and the system that comes is going to be for the people. This is my I really hope that this will happen, but we will see. Nobody can predict the future. Now about the flight. Now the government of Nepal announced that international flights will start from the 1st of September. So I hope this will be the case, because I need to fly out. Although now my brother is with my mom, so I'm relaxed about that, and he will stay with her as long as it's necessary, as long as I come. And after that, I will have to stay in UK with my mom, because as I said, her partner died from heart attack recently. I made a video about it. So I will have to stay with my mom probably for the rest of the time. UK is not the place that I really like, but there is no choice, and children have duties to fulfill. If their parents, something happens to their parents, they have to help, because if especially parents were really good, and my mom was really taking care of me, so this is I'm joyfully going to take care of her. And looking at the positive side of me moving back to UK is that I will be able to meet many more people interested in astrology. In UK, there are many astrologers, and I will be able also to meet people in cryptocurrencies, traders. I'm also, since I'm very interested in that now, it's going to be very beneficial for me, and maybe I will be able to organize some groups there. So every country has, wherever you live, there are drawbacks and there are good things about the country. So it's important to look at the positive side. And since I'm so much by circumstances made to go there, it means that I'm supposed to go there. So I never resist such change, although I thought that I will stay in Asia. Now this is a good opportunity for me to stay because of the coronavirus. Maybe that would work out as permanent stay, but that's not what my destiny is pointing me to, and I have to follow that, because if you resist, you don't grow. So if circumstances clearly point that you have to go to some place, you have to go there, because the lessons are there. And I have stayed in Nepal now for 6 months, and I stayed in Nepal for 6 months before, and it's a place that is suitable for me, not for forever. I wouldn't like to stay here forever, but I enjoy staying here. But now there are no tourists, it's very different, but this place is comfortable for me. And actually, when I look at my astrology map, it exactly shows that this place is comfortable for me. And if you don't know, I started new service which is called Best Location Service, and it's about checking according to the birth chart, which places, which countries, and particular places within the countries are suitable for you. And I will link this page where you can read about the service to this video, and below this video. And I think that's all that I wanted to share with you in this video. I think I discussed everything, and I do apologize for the noise, but every time I make videos there is noise. I mean, you know that already. So I hope that the sound was clear, and if you have any questions for me, then you can just leave a comment below the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Take care.